Good morning, ladies. It's CJ from Vintage Gypsy. I want to get with you this morning and talk to you about transitioning gray hair. I think I finally have come to the end of my journey on this transition and wanted to share a few things with you if you're thinking about doing it, because I learned a lot along the way and I want to share that with you, and I knew I would. So here we go. If you are so when I started, I was pretty much espresso brown, as dark as brown as you could. And I was coloring my hair about once a week because I'm about 80% gray. It's actually silver. So it's very noticeable when it grows out, and I got really tired of having to always have that showing and dealing with that. So I knew I had come to that point of transition, and it took me a couple of years to get there to make that decision. And some of you may be going through that right now and can relate. So once I actually committed to the decision, I got with my family and told them what I was thinking, because it's a very dramatic change. And anytime you do anything really dramatic to your person, it's kind of good to kind of let your family and friends know what you're doing so they can support all the process along the way, because it does go through some ugly steps. So it's something you need to decide to do and commit to do, and then do it. So once I told my family what I was doing and why I was doing it, they were all on board with it. And I made sure to tell them it's going to be about 2 years is what I've heard. It's going to go through a lot of different phases that aren't quite attractive. So just to be prepared for it and hang through it with me. So I made the decision, and in October had my hair highlighted. And when I did that, actually I had my hair highlighted in June of last year, and it was just such a subtle highlight. You could barely tell anything was done. Now, I wasn't happy with it, but I did learn a lot from the technician that did it. She prepared me. She said it's about a 2-year process. You can't rush it because your hair has to have time to settle down, and so that you don't damage your hair too badly. And so after that, I waited a few months, and then in October, I had another highlight. And the highlight that I had was very dramatic and very extreme, and took it through several steps of coloring all at once, or actually taking the color away and bleaching all at once, and it really damaged my hair. So while the result was quicker, you just need to be prepared for more on the backside of conditioning your hair, cutting your hair and such. And while I'm talking about that, do not cut your hair before you have any bleaching or any of that. Be prepared to let go of about an inch and a half every time. You're going to need that because your ends are going to be the most damaged. So anyway, as you can tell, my hair is very short, and that's okay because I'm trying to get it back to healthy. So in October, I had the bleaching done, and after the treatment, the result was very shocking, and it took a while to get used to. And what happened was the color, I learned a lot about bleaching color. So when you go through the process of going from brunette to brown, from brunette to blonde, you have to know that your hair color itself, the natural colors go through stages. And it's going to have to go from brown to red, red to orange, orange to yellow, and yellow to just clear white. And it has to go through that progression. There's no way around it. That's why it's kind of an ugly process. So in the process, they put toners on your hair to kind of neutralize the harshness of the color, the red and orange and yellow. That's where the toner comes in. So I got my hair bleached in October. They pulled a lot of color. There was a lot of damage to my hair, and we put an ash toner on it, which was really nice. And it was really too drastic for me to deal with, so we kind of went back the next day and did some low lights, which was really nice, and I liked the result. So I came home with some conditioner that I used on my hair and got a really pretty aggressive haircut, and was using the Joico K-Pack on my hair, and I found that to be the best conditioner there is. Another thing that was recommended to me to keep the harshness down and to pull the yellow out was the purple shampoo from Clairol, which I got, but I want to tell you, it gave me the worst reaction I was, I guess, allergic to it and had the most terrible breakouts on my neck, and I had to discontinue it. And it was immediate change when I stopped it. So be careful. You might want to test a spot before you use it, but it does work. It does bring that tone down to more of an ash from a yellow blonde. So I sat with that for several months, and then in January went back for another series of highlights, which turned out to be almost a solid blonde. And it pulled a lot of, so I was left with a lot of yellow in my hair, and had to sit on that for a couple of months to let my hair again breathe and recuperate. And we did that, and then in March I had this final step done, and I'm really happy with the final result. It was done very aggressively and very fast because I have very little patience, so that's fine for me. You could draw it out longer and you wouldn't have such hair damage if you did it. So I'm very happy with what I've got finally. I got some lowlights put in it, a lot of my natural hair. It's probably 2 inches of my natural color mixed in with highlights of light ash blonde and some lowlights of darker ash blonde, as you can tell. And I'm going to keep this up for as long as I can because I like the color. And I had about 2 inches cut off my hair to get it back into condition. And so this is going to be a process. But I think I've got to the final solution, and I'm happy with it, and it was worth it. And it does affect your family. It takes them a long time to get used to it because you've been this way for 50-something years. And but I think the result is good. And personally, it takes yourself a long time to get used to the new you. It does change your perception, your attitude, the way you feel. It's a different you. So there are some things, and I hope these tips have helped you. And I encourage you to make the decision to do it. It's a great decision, and it's a great decision for your hair and your health of your hair too. So I recommend it, and I hope you have fun with your decision, and let me know if you have any questions. I'm open to questions. So have a wonderful day, my sisters. Take care.